Hello, this video will teach you how to solve this cube. Now the reason that I am making this video is that I googled a lot and searched on YouTube, but I couldn't find any useful videos on how to solve this cube. So here's my attempt at telling you how to solve this cube and hope you appreciate it. Okay, so before we move on, I would advise that you get familiar with the cube. Just take a minute with it, do some twists and turns on it, scramble it, and yeah, get familiar with it because it has got really complicated axis of turning. So you need to know how this cube turns before you actually know how to solve it. So just take a minute with it, pause this video and just do stuff with it. Okay, next there are two kinds of pieces on this cube: the corners, which do not move like people expect them to. They move while being attached to the centers, like this. They don't move on their own. Most people think they do, but they don't, and they're really surprised when they find that it does not. Okay, then there are the centers, which move with respect to each other, so you can't rely on the centers to know which face is which, unlike in a Rubik's cube, in which centers are used to find out the color of that face on which the center is. Okay, so let's scramble our cube and then I'll teach you how to solve it. Okay, so now we have a scrambled cube. So the first thing we do is solve one face, just one, and by solving the faces, I mean bring all the corners of one color at their correct positions. Like for example, if I'm solving white, I need all the corners with white at the correct positions and with white on top, so that it looks like a solid white color on top. Okay, so let's start. First, unlike in a Rubik's cube, I have to take corners as reference positions. See what I mean? Like in a Rubik's cube, you take a face on the front and then with respect to them all the other faces are named, if you know what I mean. If you know how to solve the cube, you'll know what I mean. But in a cube, you take the corners in front and then all the other corners are placed with respect to this. If you do not understand what I say right now, just move on and watch the video and you'll know what I'm saying. Okay, so first I'll solve all the corners, white corners. So the first one is already at place. See, one of the corners with the white is already at place. All I need to do is turn it. Okay, so here's how you turn a corner. If you want to turn a corner anti-clockwise, then what you do is keep the corner on front, then perform the following move. Move this cube along this line, like this. Then move this cube along the previous line, like this. Then move this one forward and then the back one forward. And you see that you have twisted the corner anti-clockwise once. So here's how you do it. Now, if you want to turn it clockwise, then like this corner needs to be turned clockwise. Then what you do is that you move the cube along this crease forward. Then you move the cube along the preceding crease, like along this, like this. Then you move the cube backwards along this crease and then back along this crease. So that's how you do a clockwise turn on a cube. Now that I have solved one of these corners, all the other corners will be solved with respect to this one. So now this corner is a white, red, blue corner. So it becomes pretty clear that this corner will be a white, blue, orange, because white will be here obviously, blue will be here because the other blue is here, and since most of the people know that orange always stays opposite to red, therefore orange will be opposite to this red. So if red is here, orange will be here. So my piece right here would be a white, blue, orange. So let's search for it. There it is. This one right here. This piece right here needs to be brought here. That's pretty simple. I just do it like this. See? Simple, huh? Then I see that it needs an anti-clockwise turn. So you perform the sequence that I told you. Move the cube along this crease anti-clockwise or backwards. Then along this crease anti-clockwise again or backwards. Then along this crease clockwise forward, and then along this crease forward. So I've turned it anti-clockwise once. Now that I have another corner solved, I know that this one will be white, orange, green, because white would be here, and since orange is here, therefore another orange would be here, and since green stays opposite to blue, therefore if blue is here, then green would be here. So white, orange, green piece is what I need at this position. And here it is. I found it. So this piece needs to be brought here. That's pretty simple. There. This might seem a little bit overwhelming at first, but if you follow my advice which I gave at the beginning, that get familiar with this cube. Just turn it, just twist it, just do stuff with it. And then you'll get familiar with how the cube turns, and this would be a whole lot easier. So now I see that it needs an anti-clockwise turn, so we all know how to do that. Backward along this crease, backward along the previous crease, forward along that crease, and forward along the previous crease. So here I have another corner solved. Now white, green, red is the corner piece that I will need here, because white will obviously match white. The green is here, therefore the green would be here, and red is opposite to orange, so if orange is here, then red would be here. So I found it. This one is the piece. I need to bring it here. That's pretty simple. I do it like this. I brought it here. Now this needs a clockwise turn. So what do? Forward, proceeding forward, this one back, proceeding back, and there you go, a clockwise turn. And now you have solved one face in this cube. The rest of the steps will be taught in my next video, and thank you and bye bye.